Now, this is a really interesting way to make gold, and I can't tell you exactly how much gold you can make because we're just not 100% sure yet on what the respawn timer is of the specific item we're talking about, which, if you looked at the thumbnail and you've got eyes, you've probably guessed that it's this. Siren's Tier. So yes, what we're actually talking about is Siren's Tier, and when it comes to crafting, this can be used in quite a few good recipes. It can be used in Wisp Cloak, which is a very, very good BOE healer cloak that you'll be able to sell on the auction house all day long. It can be used in Death Chill Cloak, which again is another BOE cloak that you'll be able to sell on the auction house, and the one that most people are wanting it for is the Enchanted Tier. So the Enchanted Tier is a +6 all stats gem that you can put in your gear. You can only use one of them, but it matches any socket. So if for your meta gem you need something like blue gems, but you want to stack loads of agility, then you just put one of these in, and obviously then you can just stack agility, and it's quite a common method of doing it. But these are quite expensive, because if we look right now at Siren's Tier, you can see EU market value on average is 283 gold each, and US market value is 256 gold each. Now, we're currently selling them at between 325 and 340 gold each, and we've just farmed 3 or 4, with a couple of us, well, there's actually a few of us now, very quickly. Now, there's some uncertainty around the vendor, because as you can see here, it's got one available. It seems like everyone can get their first one, no problem, because we've been testing this and we've been looking at how long it takes to repop onto the vendor and stuff like that. And at the moment, by the time we get enough clams, there's normally another Siren's Tier there. So I would say it's definitely less than an hour, I would say around that. But it looks like it's a rolling restock, if you know what I mean. So if you was to just stack up on loads of these, you could potentially buy one, give it a minute, and then it would be at that restock point in time, and you could buy another one instantly. Obviously, you're going to have to be very lucky, but ultimately it's something you can do. Head over to Borean Tundra and go to the little cave just to the northeast of the Nexus. So all you'll need to do is grab the first quest from King Murgle, and you'll need to go down underwater, kill a mob, use a flask type thing to fill it up, then you go back and hand in. The next quest, you'll then need to go and get the Winterfin clams, and you'll need 5 of them. Once you hand that in, you'll then have access to the vendor. Now it's quite simple. You can just run around, grind on these murlocs, and even loot some of them from the floor. And that's what I would recommend keeping your eye out for, is picking up as many off the floor as possible, because on our server in particular, most people are just going for the kills. So they're not looting the clams that are on the floor. So make sure you pick up as many as possible. We're averaging being able to get around 3 Siren's Tiers an hour. So 300 clams an hour. And that's with a lot of competition. And at times like this, a lot of PvP. Good job, Mincy. I shouldn't really say good job. He's level 80 and that person he just ganked was like 70. Actually, shame on you, Mincy. But ultimately, you want to run outside, you want to run in the cave, you want to just kill as many of these murlocs as possible. And there's one really good thing that I've not even spoke about. If you get dark water clams, you also have a very small chance of getting a Siren's Tier out of these. Most of the time, it's just meat that comes out of it, or even North Sea pearls. Now, the North Sea pearl market is very, very different between EU and US. Being in the EU, you're going to get 4.5 gold-ish, and on US, you're going to get over 11 gold. But still, you're going to get a lot of these, because you're going to kill lots of these murlocs, you're going to open lots of these clams. In fact, we just opened 10 just to see what we'd get, and we got 2 of these pearls. So you're farming for Siren's Tier, you're getting the dark water clams, which you might get a Siren's Tier in, very small chance. And you're obviously handing the Winterfin clams in whenever that Siren's Tier is available on the vendor. What I would do is I would run around here, I would kill all of them, I would loot them all, and I would try and get 300 or 400 clams at a time. By all means, once you've got the first 100, go and hand it in, and if by our testing, and that testing's correct, you should actually then be able to instantly buy another one if it's available. It looks like everybody can buy that one and it's not shared. So it's not a free one. You've still got to get 100 clams, but you've not got to wait for it to respawn on the vendor. It will be there for everyone. That could be wrong. I just want to put that out there now. If it's wrong, it's wrong, whatever. It still repopulates on there, as in restocks, quite quickly. So as long as you farm loads of these, I'd want to sit with 400 or 500 clams in the bag at all times. Every time you fly to the Nexus or Oculus to go and do your heroic for the day, stop by the vendor, see if there's a Siren's Tier there. If it's there, about 300 gold on average, let's say, across all regions. Being able to farm 3 of these an hour comfortably, or even if you only got 2, that's still like 660 to 700 gold an hour. Or if you can get 3, that's even better. Or 2.5, it doesn't matter, because you can just stop by here at any time. So if you're flying to the Nexus and you've got 20 minutes because someone's AFK or whatever, you're waiting to try and find someone, run round and get clams. You will make big, big gold. Trust me. And as we know, it's an ever-changing market, and the more there are on there, the lower the price is going to be, obviously, but that's why you've got to be first. If you're not first, you're last, and if you're last, you're going to be poor. As an FYI, you can actually farm these from somewhere else, as in fishing in Wintergrasp, and you can fish up clams and open them and have a chance at getting a Siren's Tear. But that's a very RNG way. So it's up to you. I'm not saying this is the only way to get Siren's Tears, but fishing is going to be luck-based. This, you're 100% guaranteed to be getting this gold or getting this Siren's Tear to maybe even use for yourself. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Get over and farm your Siren's Tear now. And roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes, everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name, and you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.